はい、これでもってさ、目の前に初のリスキーモブがいるんじゃないですかこれ。アーリマンじゃないこいつ。こんにちは、元気してる？ほら。もう。こいつね。いけるかな？ C やけどさ。初見の時結構手こずった記憶があるわ。とりあえず最初にぶっぱコース行ってきましょうか。
What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
いけるか？あぶねえ。あれなんで斬鉄剣撃ったのにな。ギリ間に合わへんかったってやつかな。シャギーン。さてどうしよう。問題はこっからやな。危なっ。あー空振った。こっちにしてみるか。じゃあいきなりだよだ。やべえな。あれこれありがたいな。あれ食らいまくりやったな。えげい。あ、ボタン間違えた。あれ違う。間違えた。もう最近よう間違えるわこれ。うっとけい。あれ消えた。くっそ消えやがった。うわ若干手こずってるな。食らってけい。あ、まだダメか。くそ、暫定剣フィニッシュ狙いすぎたな。しょぼい倒し方。てか操作ミスやばかったな。えぐいミスりまくったな。結構むずいんだよね。うん。もうちょっとうまくね、斬鉄剣を使いたかったな。まあいいか。はい、アンブロシア。助けて仲間にしましたよ。 ちょっとねサブクエやってたんですけどね。でさ、この行商人のローアンってやつがさ、序盤に出てきたやつやんね。チョコボ系のサブクエで出てきたやつ。こいつやんな。
But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you.
序盤であったよね。
When those chocobos swarmed my car on the road, didn't you?
今度は覚えてるよ、ローアンさん。やっぱ会うてたな。こいつだ。
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me.
クライブさんは忘れてんのか、すっとぼけたふりしてんのか、どっちやろ。まあ、完全忘れてるやろな、これ。
Best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
むしろこのローアン、よう覚えてたな。
Take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
じゃあこっからねチョコボをね移動で使えるようになるわけですよ。きたこれいい感じ。チョコボ解放。
Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
昼間っから飲んどんな。
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
それがお前上司に対する態度か。一周目も同じこと言うたな。そうそうボイスをね英語に戻しました。うん。まあねイタリア語よりもやっぱりリップシンクが堪能できる英語の方がメインで進めるのはいいかなと思ったわけですね。
And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first.
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
やるか。シドがいなくなってね。初のマザークリスタル破壊ね。
Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia, Drake's Spine in Waloed, and Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
ドミニオンなんだね。自治領は。
Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
来たー。
My uncle.
ポートイゾルデ、バイロンジー。
Lord Byron Rosfield at the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings
英語ボイス楽しみじゃない？どんな寸劇になるんやろうな。
Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
いやー、ここからジルのショーが始まりますね。
We will face it together then.
そうや、力なったれよ、クライブさん。頼りにしてるって言われてるんやしさ。
Come on.
行くか。ポートイゾルでバイロン王子待ってるよ。
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories.
っていうか、チョコボ呼ぶか。せっかく乗れるようになってんしな。行くぜー。こっち？敵無視していくぜー。すっきれー。あ、てかもう目の前やな。はいはい、ここね。ん？なんすかなんすか？
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
何を見ろっつってんの。あー、こいつね、黒騎士ね。しかしさ、黒騎士ね、まあちょっと動画ではカットしたんですけど、マーサの宿でイベントがあって、そこで黒騎士初登場したんですけどね、マジで名前負けしてない。すんげえ弱いしな。口だけは達者やねんけどね。なんかあれじゃない？普通の兵士、鎧が黒になっただけじゃない。それはちょっと言い過ぎか。やったろか？やっちまうか？
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
バーナベラは相変わらずやんな。
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
行きますか。 はい、敵いる
Ever since the apothecary, we've seen more and more of these.
よいしょ。
What do you think is waking? The mother crystal's collapse?
さあ、我が斬鉄剣のサビとなるがよい。シャギーン。いいね、気持ちいいぜ相変わらず。こっちね。いやー、とりあえず斬鉄剣が便利すぎるって。あ、またいる。ガンガン斬鉄剣で押すか。あ、5に到達できず、まあいっか。残った。あはは、ナイストルガルー。やっぱ4と5の差って大きいんかな。微妙に残ったね、敵。道分かれてたな。確かこっちから行ったらどうなんやろ。あ、なんかいる。ちょなんかいるな。こっちも敵いるな。なんかさ、1周目って普通にこっち行った気がすんのよね。ちょっと寄り道してみようか。初のこっち繋がってるだけか。普通に黒騎士いんねんけど。いや、これは1周目よりここ行ってないな。こんにちは皆さん。はい、からのあ、生き残りやがった。え、違うな。黒騎士は全部倒したんか。また違うのが残ってるな。この辺取って、あ、でも特に何かがあるわけではないのか。あ、ちょっと待って、宝箱ある。これ敵じゃない？ボム。これ自爆すんじゃない？へい、自爆。あれ、自爆しんひんな。自爆はどういうシステムなんやろな。俺ちょっとよく分かってないなこれ。まあ、攻撃しますか。よいしょ。倒した方が早いか。あ、やばいか。やばい。なんと、ちょっと違うのまで出てきた。もうちょっとあ、自爆ね。ある程度攻撃しなあかんのかな。なんかもう倒した方が早いな。普通に。まだいる？まだいるやんめんどくせえな。普通にいたな。そんなことよりも宝箱。こんなんあったんや。俺取ってないかも。1周目 ブルズホーンブライド初めて見た。あ、いやでもちょっと待てよ。ランジのダメージ5%アップ。これ持ってるな。前取ったな。ちゃんとじゃあ一応ここ来てたんやな。全く覚えてないけど。はいはいはい、元の道に戻ってきましたよ。おるおるおる。食らっとけ。いやー、これさ、暫定剣の切り替えがたまにうまくいかへん時あるな。ボタン押すのが早すぎんのかな。ちょっとよくわかんねえけど。はい、黒騎士さんたちいますね。こんにちは。いや全然たまらへんかったんけど。マジか。はい、オッケー。余裕っすね。5まで貯めるとね、一掃できるからいい感じやね。え、ここ？あー、せやせやせやせやせや。で、これ取りに行ったらなんか敵出てくん違ったっけ？ほら。だと思った。あー、ちょっと残ったな。あら。あっさり。いきますか、じゃあ。ここね。血の跡がある。
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are, and still, you would bear your steel.
種火の守り手ね。
Why then, we owe you our
ウェイドと再会の時が来た
You have saved us
ね。
the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn.
もう喋ってばっかりやな、黒騎
On
士。
these, our swords we
よかかってこいよ。
Say that again.
面白いな。
I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria.
あ、ちょっとかわされた。弱い。いや、むしろ斬鉄剣が強すぎるな。超便利。
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message.
friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
これも救いようのない感じやったよな。オールドヒル造船所ね。串刺し状態やったよね。確か。まあ時すでに遅しって感じなんすけどね。
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
綺麗。あ、でも串刺しは言い過ぎか。紐でくくりつけられてるだけか。
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know.
な
I never truly understood her.
あ、考え方が違いすぎて理解不能やもんね。
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it.
そうそう、ほんまにアナベラと決着つけてほしかったわ。何度も言うてるけどね、なんであんな結末やねんって
We
いう
should
ね。
go.
Yes.
まあでもさ、アナベラと対峙する頃になっ
We
た
can't leave
ら
them here like this.
We won't.
なんかクライブさんの優先順位的にはもうなんかアナベラってどうでもいいって言うとさ、ちょっと語弊があるけど、優先順位ちょっと低かったよね。他にもっと大事なことたくさんあるみたいなさ、なんかそんな感じやった気がするな。はい、ポートイゾルデ到着ですよ。がしかし入れねえってやつね。
Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your stalls! Cut you down where you stand!
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
そうそうそう。で若干引き返してウェイド教と再開ってやつやんね。いや展開早えな。
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
ここね。
We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
行くか。ああ再開。ウェイドね。まあ、その後にさらにバイロンにも再開するけどね。 さて、いますかね。
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
いやー、確かにでもここも綺麗やったんやろうな。なんとなく想像はできるよね。綺麗だった頃の。よし、久しぶり。慌てるやと。
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
囲まれたぞ。仕方ないな。クライブさんいかつい剣持ってるよね。よし、痛いね、見るがよい。あ、でも結構体力あるな敵。あれ、ちょっとすかしたぞ。よっしゃい。さあ皆さん一列に並んでください。一列に並んでくださいからの、はい、一網打尽。あれ、これ当たってる？当たってない。まだいる？あ、まだいた。見てなかった。はい、ホームラン。相変わらずよそ見してる間にやられるわ。
I've only ever seen one man fight like that, and he's
Wait,
long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
その技は。
It can't be. I was there when you died.
でもなんで生きてたんやろな。結局最後までわからんかったね。同じ状況下でみんな死んでんのにさ、なんでウェイドだけ助かってんやろ。なんかさ、ファイナルファンタジー16ってさ、そういうのすごく多くない？死んだとされてたり、確実に死んだとされる描写があっても実は死んでなかったパターンね。映画とかやったら考えられへんな。なのでもやっとした描写やったらますます生きてんのか死んでんのか分かんないよね。そこがなーって感じやけど。
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool.
普通の人の感覚からするとね、全くもって理解できひんけど、アナベラからしたらごく当たり前のことをしてるだけなんやろうな。オリビエさえいればね、全員消えてなくなるぐらいの勢いやもんな。ひでえわ。
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
さあここで合流だよね、ウェイドと。
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan.
あ、っていうことはさ、ウェイドはジルがドミナントってことも知ってたってことなんかな。話の流れやとそんな感じに聞こえるな。
Now make ready for battle.
As you command. Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Hi, 戻ってきましたよ。
What is it now? I told you.
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog,
なんかねちっこい喋り方やな。
against the might of the Black Shields.
相変わらずよく喋るし。
Come, die along with your flame.
かかってきなさい。帰り討ちにしてやるわ。
For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
行くぜ。
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody
hell!
まだいる？あ、新しい敵ね。最初に打っとくやつ。
The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't and flattered.
何何何？なんか食らったな。やべやべやべやべ。あれよ、これな、なかなかボタンが押すのが早いんかな。暫定使いに切り替わらへん時が結構あるな。で、ここまでは余裕だが、こいつか。こいつはちょっと動き早そうやな。いけるか？で、相変わらずよう喋るな。早くかかってきなさい。うん。はい、来たー。最初に撃っとけー。あ、ま、危ない危ない危ない。うっとけー。いけるか？ちょっと早かったか？いけるか？オッケー。そしてジャストでダブルジャンプも回避。 いやこれ暫定権フィニッシュのチャンスじゃね。あーちょっと突き疲れた。でもこれでいけるか。はい暫定権フィニッシュ。結構手こずったけど、途中からどんどん敵が増えてくるタイプはやっぱしんどいね。
I don't see any more.
Nor do I.
おお操作が若干怪しかったけどな。
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
だといいんだけどな。
Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant.
ねえ、死んだと思ってんだよね。そこを寸劇でね、凍った心を溶かすんだよ。いやー、面白いな。そういえばエンディングでもさ、男の子たち、子供のね、黒髪の男の子と金髪の男の子が兄弟が同じ寸劇を演じてたよね。意味ありげだね、そう考えると。
Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
はい、もう一気にバイロン王子の屋敷到着ですよ。いやー、懐かしの寸劇がついに見れるね。
Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
で、相変わらず後ろの剥製のセンスが悪い。来たな、足跡が。いや、どんな声やろな、バイロン王子。気になるな。
Right, I guess my uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him, and means to string us up himself.
はい、見慣れた服で登場ですよ。
imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit.
あ、でもなんか日本語の雰囲気と結構近いか。
Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue.
なんかリバーブがすごい効いてるな、声に。きたこれ。お前突然何を始めた。
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to her serene.
これクライブさん、いつからこれをやろうって決めてたんやろうな。ジルの顔。クライブさん、何やってんのあなたみたいな。
For thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
子供の頃のクライブが重なって見える。まさか。
Curse thee, infectious
切り替え早えよ。
even in death.
すぐ乗っかるっていうね。ナイスアイコンタクト。
I shall open the gates of hell that thou might see thy charge once more.
あ、でもよくよく聞いてるとさ、口調が変わったな、バイロン王子。途中からちょっと優しく角が取れた声に変わったな。
My dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford! Inform the kitchens! There'll be guests! We dine immediately!
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
そんだけひどいのにシルベストルとか全然気づいてないっていうのがすごいよね。
That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more.
そっか、20
Perhaps it
年
would be
か。
otherwise had I the courage of my brother.
まあバイロン王子もさ、
Right, if it's a ship you require,
アナベラに
a ship you shall
まあ
have.
従うってい
I've
う
a
の
galley
を
in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can
す
be
り寄る
outfitted
っ
for
て
the
いう
voyage
選
in a
択肢を
matter
した
of
負い目
weeks.
があったからウェイドとかを助けてたんじゃないの？
About everything.
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim.
あ、ここいいよね。
But until tonight, only a fool would have believed
嘘つく
my
時の
nephew
癖があるんだよってい
still
う。
lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
知らないけどな
Untrue.
っていう。
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
アイコンタクト。
The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle.
もうほんま水を得た魚かのようなバイロン王子の躍動感よ。
Fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on. She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
いや、またもや聞き入ってしまったわ。まあ見入ってしまったというかなんというか、英語やとやっぱちょっと雰囲気違うな。